guy's another fan favorite here. That's Daniel Bellinger. And another year of Bellinger where you go, who, what, where is he? What's going on?
We talked about Belly his freshman year, kind of like we just talked about Theo Johnson.
Yeah. That's
And
about
like
we say the same thing. Great analogy there.
Like he showed such potential, like slow start, but he was really like, man, that guy showed up with a half his eyeball hanging out pretty much his freshman year, like with that injury. And, like he still put up what 450.
Well, no, actually, his rookie year, I had to look at the stats actually because I remembered it more better than what it was as well. 30 catches, 268 yards.
Way off.
But
Maybe that was projection.
But the difference in him and Theo Johnson is the fact that he's a much better blocker than Theo Johnson is. So it's kind of like the analogy still works. It's just one's a more receiving tight end and one's more of a blocking tight end. But Bellinger was specifically a security blanket kind of tight end where you didn't really scheme for him very often. But he'd be the guy if you rolled out and needed to throw to somebody before you get sacked. He's probably the guy that's going to be sitting there waiting for you.
And yeah, he was always pretty good about getting the yak yards, like because he was such a good blocker when he caught the ball. I don't want to say like he blocks his way out of it, but like he was just so strong that like he was able to defend some of those corners or tight end corners or safeties that are coming up on him, which he outweighed.
Yeah, and I remember his rookie year when he got hurt too. Our run game went way down all of a sudden from him not being there as a blocker. Like he was a very big component of that.
He was the right tackle.
Yeah, I mean, but the problem we're into is he's been relegated to a backup role. He definitely is not a guy you see as often on the field as he used to with that rookie year. I don't know what happened. I feel like there's something we're missing where there's some kind of falling out, and I don't know what it was. He only
definitely slept with someone's wife.
32% of offensive plays this season, guys, whereas 72 and 62 is his first 2 years. So he's getting half the snaps that he was getting last year. And, the production is just about that, half. Last year, 25 catches, 255 yards. This year, 14 catches, 125 yards. So I don't think he's gotten any worse. I think there's just something going on that behind the scenes we're unaware of. And I don't want to speak ill of him or anybody else in this scenario and pretend like to guess on what it could be because I'm not there. I don't know. They don't tell us these things.
No.
They keep some stuff in-house, as they should. Quite frankly, they should. So, yeah, we'll see what happens overall with Bellinger. He's got one more year under contract, so he'll be a Giant probably next year. But he was one of the guys that you talked about at the end of the training camp here about potentially getting cut. I remember that conversation. They were like, oh, watch Bellinger potentially get cut. He didn't get cut, but he definitely got used a whole lot less. He's definitely falling out of favor more and more with the coaching staff. And maybe one day we'll hear the story of why. I know his holding calls and stuff like that last year were a different issue. Obviously, he lost some snaps because of the fact that Darren Waller was there last year, at least for the half season. Waller was healthy. And now he's got Theo Johnson. It's like they keep on trying to replace him. Something's going on.
Yeah, I mean, listen, last year you can't blame the Giants for picking up Waller. Like,
no.
Like we get the idea of why it happened because we needed a solid one. While Waller would have gave us like a solid one in the tight end position, coming from a team like we talked about what Dable was before in different teams, this and that. Like Calf comes from. It looked nice. It looked nice on paper.
Yeah.
To have him put it there. But what you also did, you probably gave a bad taste in Belly's mouth his sophomore year, who fans and coaches had high praise for him his freshman year.
Yep.
And then you go out and you get the best guy in that position in free agency to which you probably felt like replace him.
Tight end after working your butt off. Yeah. He's a bad taste.
Yeah. So maybe that could have been something.
Yeah. No, it definitely could have been. That's for damn sure. So like I said, I'd like to see him more. I thought he didn't have the penalty issues and all he had, the prior year, because that was definitely an issue he had there overall. And the interesting thing he was targeted 14 times, guys. So literally every time he was targeted this year was a catch. He's a solid
Yeah.
player. 57.2 PFF grade on the year. Like I said, I just think for some reason he's fallen out of favor with the coaching staff. And I'd love to know why. Would absolutely love to know why. But I have no way of knowing why and probably never will.
Probably not.
Probably not. So maybe Bellinger will tell us the story one day if he gets cut or
He's going to go to a podcast. He's going to go to Joe Diaz's podcast and tell everyone.
Come to our podcast, Belly. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. You can
open up and be goofy with us too.
You can do it. Once you're not a Giant, then the Giants will let you do whatever they want because they can't stop you.
If you like that clip, then you will love the full episodes too. Find us on your favorite podcast app and look for us on all your favorite social media platforms.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please subscribe.